resource.
It is. And then let's talk about housing, because I know that was probably right up there at the top, as well as street repairs. But I know what Lennar's about to. Well, they have cleared broken ground.
Yeah.
It's like they brought robots in and just blew up that whole corner there. It's amazing.
Yeah. Is it Granger that's doing all that? I
No,
mean,
that's Lennar. Yeah.
No, well, I'm sorry, not Granger, but the name that's on that tank that's sitting there.
Ranger.
Ranger, sorry.
Yeah, Ranger Site Services.
Okay, that's who did it. Sorry.
Yeah.
They've got a great advertisement there. But anyway, how's that going?
It's going very well. I drive by there every day. My son goes to the middle school there, and so I drive by. I get to play construction inspector for about 30 seconds, and I saw topsoil was delivered today. So I think most of the big site work has been done, and they're going to start putting topsoil down. So it's exciting. It's not a silver bullet, right? We had a lot of housing issues 3 years ago.
Right.
Again, talking about accelerated trends, right? And so the mayor in his leadership initiated the workforce housing task study in 2019 and had some great results. Those strategies and results are still very much valid. They've just been exacerbated because of our the housing issues that have occurred during the pandemic the last 24 months. So it's only gotten worse, really.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Lennar project, it's not a silver bullet, right? It's not going to solve all of our housing woes. And we have housing deficiencies across the entirety of the spectrum, right? They're most acute, I think, at the lower end of the spectrum because the private sector right now it goes towards the highest profit margin, right? And that's at the custom home piece, right? Over 400,000 or 500,000. And so those are the homes as a one-off that are being built on fill-in lots. But that doesn't necessarily, it satisfies a need or it helps satisfy a need. It doesn't obviously satisfy our workforce housing need, at least not at the lower end of the spectrum. This Lennar project will help, right? But the market wasn't going to respond in that way without public-private partnership, right? You have to nudge the market if you want it to respond in a way that it's not going to do naturally. Right. And so that's why the city had to step up and be a partner on that project and provide the land, which got them into a price point where they could offer those homes in the low 200s, right? Now, can some folks not still be able to afford in those low 200s? Absolutely. And we need other housing products for those folks as well. And that's very much recognized. But at least this begins to build some momentum in that direction. It also helps put Kerrville on the map in regards to the folks in that industry that can say, okay, Kerrville is here. Kerrville is open for business. Kerrville is easy to do business with. And we want to come to this community and be able to help satisfy that market need that's out there.
That's excellent.
And how much of that was responsible, from the efforts that Drew and his team have done? Drew Paxton, who's a planning director, kind of streamlining the processes. I mean, I would hear these things, these complaints. Oh, it's not business friendly, which I find hard to believe. But how much has that helped matters in the last year or so?
Well, I think Kerrville historically has had a lot of mismatch of codes, and so my perception has been that you have the zoning code and the subdivision code, and they didn't sync up, and there were pieces that were disconnected, and so at best it was disconnected. At worst, it was at a level that was just totally confusing. There have been tremendous efforts, and this is one of the things that was identified in the housing study 2 years ago was, hey, clean up your codes, right? And we knew that coming out of Kerrville 2050, but that was a reinforcement of that, and so that's what we've done. We've redone, this community's redone its zoning code, it's redone its subdivision code, it's modernized and updated all of its building codes, and so now those things are synced up, and we've still got some work to do, but it's much easier, much less confusing, much less open to interpretation, which I think has been some complaint in the past, and so I think we're in a good place, and I think when you talk to the private sector, they're excited about that clarity, right? Because they want to know what the rules are, right? And not feel like they're changing, and I think the clarity of these codes provides for that.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to see the first home door open and someone move in.
Should be early 2023 at the Lennar project. No,
I bet you they'll be sold out.
Yeah. Will there be a way, because I have not actually visited with the Lennar representatives, but will there be a way to get on a list or to reserve a home in advance?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure on their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Our job at this point is just kind of in the inspection mode, but I think direct contact with those folks on their sales and marketing team.
Maybe later you can give me a contact and I can call,
sure.
because I wouldn't mind when it's appropriate having them on the show too, just to talk about.
They're excited to be coming to the Kerrville community. I don't think this is a one and done project for them. I think that they are actively looking at other properties in the area. The way that they like to operate and the way that they're able to provide for homes at this price point is to be able to build in mass, right? And so this project is 130 homes, but this is kind of the test run for them, because they definitely want to be a part of this community going forward.
So is it true, the story I heard as to how the point person, or the decision maker, I should say, came to Kerrville for a game at the sports complex?
They did.
And said, why are we not here? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's another great point. We were talking about quality of life earlier, and that being economic development. We did. We had a high-level Lennar executive that their kids were playing baseball or softball, I can't remember, and they were here at the sports complex, and they were sitting in the stands looking around going, wow, this place is gorgeous.
It is a nice complex.
Why don't we have a footprint here? Why aren't we doing business here? So they reached out, and we began some discussion, and we formed a partnership, and here we are today. So again, it's one of these quality of life assets that that's how you market your community, right? That's how you.
And then they come to the town and for another visit, and they see a river trail, and they see the Arcadia, and they see Callow, they see a downtown that's thriving. And so all of these things that take place prior to someone coming here need to